everyone, welcome back to the channel. This starship build might trigger a few people, but we're going to have a little fun with this build. The most popular ship builds in Starfield are the ones that advertise no ladders. But what if we went in the other direction? How about all ladders? This is the Banshee. This is a Class C heavy cruiser that has ladders in almost every hab. This is a big ship. It is the maximum length available without mods, and uses the maximum amount of parts you can fit on a ship. It has plenty of cargo for most hoarders, and plenty of firepower to defend it. Now, in order to make sure you have all the parts available, and can fly this ship, make sure you have your piloting and your starship design skill both at rank 4, and you are at least level 60. I'll also be using my outpost ship builder for a good portion of this, so make sure you have a large landing pad set up on your outpost. So let's check out how to build this behemoth. But before we get into the build, a disclaimer. These builds are designed to serve as general guides for shipbuilding. You can follow these builds exactly, or use them as inspiration for your own designs. If there are design elements that you feel can be improved, or other parts you prefer to use, feel free to modify the build however you like. Let your creativity run wild. Now let's start the build. We are starting off at New Atlantis, as we always do. I'm going to grab our regular starter ship from here. If you already have a spare ship to build off of, you can skip this step. Talk to the ship services technician and see what he has for sale. We're just going to grab the cheapest ship available, which is usually the Rambler. You can also steal a ship if you want to save some credits. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite system to find good ships to commandeer? Now that we have our ship, it's off to our next destination. We have a few stops to get all the parts we need. But our first stop is Neon in the Volley system. Once we're in the city, we're going to head over to the Stroud Eklund showroom. Interact with the panel on the wall, and select View and Modify your ships. We're only going to need one part from here, and that is the Kon Tiki B600 bridge. Grab that, and let's fit that onto our ship. This needs to go on top of the hab, as the bridge entry point is on the bottom. So let's clear that hook point and attach it on top. Now that it's attached, let's exit the builder and head to our next destination. We're heading over to the Sol system next. Our first stop here is Titan, and we're landing at New Homestead. Once on the ground, head over to the ship technician and select the option to view and modify your ships. Like on Neon, we don't need much from here. We're only going to need one type of part, our landing gears. We're going to need a total of 11 NG20 landing gears. 2 regular, 2 of the 4 variant, and 7 of the wide variant. So let's get what we need. Once we have them all, we need to fit them on our ship. I had a little trouble fitting these pieces, as you can see. I decided to pull all the wide variants up front, and from there, I purchased a couple extra Nova bracers to attach the regular landing gears to. Now that we have them all attached, let's exit the builder and head to our next destination. Up next, we're taking a quick jump over to the Deimos Star Yards. Once on the station, head down the hall, take a slight left, and around the corner, and down the stairs. Talk to our resident ship salesman, and select View and Modify Your Ships. We need a few more pieces from here, mostly HABs that we cannot pick up anywhere else. I'm going to put the list on screen. Pause the video here and get shopping. Once you have all the parts, it's time to fit them on the ship. These stack fairly easily. Attach them however you want. Now that our pieces are attached, we can exit the builder and head to our final destination. We're headed over to my outpost in the Schrödinger system. I mentioned this before, but I built my outpost here mainly because I like the climate, and the creatures here give really good XP when you hunt them. If you want to have your outpost to be a resource farm, there are better planets out there. Once on the ground, we can head over to the console at the edge of the platform. Interact with the module and select View and Modify Your Ships. The rest of our parts will come from here, and there will be a lot of them. I recommend you remove all the parts you purchased from the other vendors and delete all the extra parts first before you purchase the rest of the parts. We're going to be using the maximum amount of parts you can fit on a ship. I will list the parts here now, pause the video here, and purchase everything you need. Now that we have all the parts, you can see our layout. This is everything we're going to need to build our ship. Make sure you have everything before we begin. We're going to start with our 3x3 HAB. Let's move that over to the empty space. Next, take one of the 2x2 HABs, and we're going to place the top left corner of that HAB on the bottom right corner of the 3x3. Now take another 2x2 hab and place that on the other lower corner of the 3x3 hab. This will create ladders between those habs. Remember, we want all the ladders we can. Next, take one of the 3x1 habs, and that's going to go on the bottom right corner of the right 2x2, but connecting underneath the hab. Again, this will create a ladder between the habs. Take your other 3x1 and place that in the same position on the other side. Now take another 2x2, and the top left corner of that hab is going to attach to the top front hook point of the 3x1. Take your remaining 2x2 and place that on the other 3x1 in the same way. Next, take our 2x3 cargo hold, and that's going to go in between the front 2x2 modules. This is the only point where the builder does not create ladders between the halves, or at least has a 50-50 shot at creating a ladder or a door. If anyone knows how to force it to create a ladder, let me know in the comments. Now we're going to take our 2x1 halves and move those up to the back of the ship. We're going to take one of the 2x1s and attach that to the top right hook point of the 3x3 hab. The other 2x1 hab is going to go on the top left hook point of the 3x3 hab. Now, since we're starting to run out of room on our grid, let's move some pieces down and then move our whole structure down a bit. Next, take the remaining 2x3 mess hall hab, and we're going to attach the bottom front hook points of that hab to the top rear hook points of the 2x1 habs we just attached. Next, take one of the 1x1 companionways, and we're going to attach that to the rear center hook point of the 2x3 hab we just placed. Now we have 3 remaining 1x1 companionways left. Stack those vertically on top of one another. Now take that whole structure, and that's going to attach to the center hook point of our 3x3 hab. And that completes our hab layout. If we did this correctly, we should have ladders on almost every hab, and our 3x3 hab should have at least 5 ladders in it, with one being an extra long ladder. Let's grab our top docker, and let's place that on top of the rear 1x1 companionway. Next, take the bridge and place that on top of the center tower structure. Finally, grab the landing bay, and that will attach to the front center 2x3 hab. Next, we're going to fill in the open space in the middle of the ship. First, we're going to place the drive section. I have mine all connected in a row. Doesn't matter what order they're connected in. We're going to bring that whole section over, and that's going to go in the open space in the middle towards the back. The top of the drive section should be even with the top of the lower hab modules. If we pan around, you can see the drive section hangs down below the ship just a little. Next, we're going to fill in the remaining space with some cargo holds. Take 3 cargo holds and bring those over. We're going to put those in front of our drive section and attach it to the lower hook points on the drive section. Now take 3 more cargo holds and place those on top of the ones we just placed. And now take 3 more and place those on top of those last ones. Next, take 2 cargo holds, and those are going to go in the empty space in between the existing holds and the bridge section. So it kind of forms a T shape. Let's pan on the ship now, and we'll work on the bottom a little. we're going to take our remaining 2 cargo holds and place them in front of the grav drive on the 3x3 hab. Next, we're going to take our NG20 wide landing gears, and those are going to go around those cargo holds on all the remaining hook points of the 3x3 hab. Now while we're down here, let's fill in some extra space. Take a Stroud mid-bracer, and that's going to attach in the open space by the first landing gear. Do the same on the other side. As we pan up, we notice the pieces we just placed are a little bit too low, so let's move them up 1 hook point so they're even with that 3x1 hab. Now let's start building up the rest of the ship. We're going to start with the front. Take our Deimos braking engine, and that's going to go on the center hook point in the front of the ship. Next, take a nose cap E and place 1 on each side of the braking engine. Take a Hope Tech radiator, and that's going to go on top of our front 2x3 hab in the middle, just in front of our cargo holds. Now let's take our Hope Tech thruster and put that in front of that radiator. Next, bring over all 4 of our Hope Tech nose pieces. These are going to go on the front of our 2x2 habs, with the rounded parts facing to the outside of the hab. Take a Stroud mid-bracer. Let's use that to fill in the open spot between the 2x2 habs. Do the same on the other side. Next, take the Hope Tech pipes and place that on the center cargo hold. Now take 2 more radiators and place those behind the pipes we just placed. Take another Stroud mid-bracer. Let's fill in the empty space between the 2x2 hab and the 2x1 hab. Do the same on the other side. Take another mid-bracer and fill in the empty spot between the 2x1 habs in the back, just behind the bridge. Next, we're going to grab one of our cowling 3LA pieces, and that's going to attach just in front of our rear 2x3 hab. Do the same on the other side. Now take your Stroud Cap A pieces and bring those over. These are going to attach to the front of the cowling pieces we just placed. The straight edge should be facing towards the center of the ship. Now take a mid-bracer, and that's going to attach to the back of the 2x2 hab, just below the center point of the cowling pieces. Do the same on the other side. Take that last mid-bracer, let's fill in the empty space between the cowling pieces, just behind the bridge section. You can see this fills in the ship nicely. Now let's readjust our camera before we continue. Let's place our aim and done engines. These are going to attach to the back of the outer mid-bracers we just placed. Now that those are placed, let's build the other engine structures. Take 3 Tayo mid caps and bring those over. I'm going to take 3 more and move those over a bit as well. Now, take a mid cap, flip it so it's facing down. That's going to go just below one of the other mid caps. We're going to place 2 more in line below the others. This gives us a nice rounded structure. Now we're going to create a mirror image of the structure we just built by flipping the remaining mid-bracers so they're facing in the desired direction. Now attach the remaining pieces to the bottom like we did before. Next, let's take our supernova engines and attach those to the back of the structure. For the front of our structure, we're going to take 2 of our Tayo cowling pieces and attach those to the top front hook points of the structure. Next, take 2 more, flip them so they're facing down, and attach them under the pieces we just placed. Now let's move some pieces out of the way, and then move our ship over to give us a little room. And take one of our engine structures and move it to the side of the ship. For placement, we're going to take the hook point of the front mid-cap piece and attach that to the hook point of the front Stroud mid-cap. The rear of the engine should be even with the back of the rear Stroud mid-bracer. Now do the same for the other structure on the other side. Next, grab the remaining 2 HopeTech radiators and place those in between the bridge tower and the docking bay. Grab one of the smaller Nova radiators. This is going to go on the 1x1 companionway under the ship docker. Attach the other one on the other side. Now let's grab 2 of the Nova wings and bring those over. These are going to attach directly to the docking module, one on each side. Next, take the larger Nova radiators, and those will attach to the sides of the Stroud 3LA cowlings. Let's take those final two wing pieces, and those are going to go directly below the bridge on the 1x1 companionway. Once those are placed, we can start placing our tail cowlings. Grab two of them and bring those over to the ship. Change the variant so the piece is facing backwards. Then flip the piece and place it under the Stroud mid-bracer that the engine is attached to. Do the same on the other side. Now while we're back here, let's place our shield generator. This is going to go in the open space in the back of the ship between the two 2x1 halves. Now we can finish placing those other cowlings. Bring one over to the back of the ship. Change the variant so it's facing backwards, and flip the piece so it's upside down. This is going to go on the back of our 3x3 hab. Now we're going to grab 5 more pieces and bring those over. They're going to be placed in a similar manner as the last one. We want 3 across on each level on the back of the ship. Once done, you should have 2 rows of 3 cowlings. The last 2 cowlings will go on the front of our ship, on the open hook points under the 2x2 halves. Now we do have 4 more landing gears to place. These are going to go under the ship. The front gear should be even with the cargo hold, while the other one is attached just behind that. Do the same on the other side. Now that those are attached, we can mount our weapons. We're going with our typical weapon selection here, with 4 PBO 175s and 4 PBO 300 auto turrets. but we're going to add in 4 Vanguard Ares cannons to give those a try. Let's start by taking our PBOs and attaching those to the inner hook points of our weapon mounts. As you can see, these gave me a little trouble. The weapon mounts are going to attach to the cargo holds on either side of the landing bay. Once those are placed, we can add our Ares cannons. If you do not have access to these cannons, you can use the PB-175s here instead. We're going to take 2 of these and attach these to the Stroud Cap A's. The other 2 we are going to attach to the Nova wing pieces on the ends just below the bridge. Now, in order to attach our auto turrets, we're going to have to first attach our equipment plates. These are going to attach to the hook points on our 2x2 halves. I like to use the ones on either side of the mid-bracer piece. If you want to put them in different spots, feel free. Now, mount your auto turrets to the equipment plates. The ship is now assembled, and it's a thick ship for sure. We need to assign our weapons, so let's do that now. My only recommendation is assigning the autocannons to the W2 spot. On PC, this is defaulted to the G key on the keyboard, which can be awkward to fire. The other weapons can be assigned wherever you wish. Once that is done, we can rename our ship. Now we have to change out the factory color. We are in March at the time of this recording, so to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we're going to go with green, black, and gold for the ship. Now the ship is done, and we can see our base stats before our skills and crew bonuses apply. So let's go take a tour of our new ship. So we get our first look at the ship on the ground. It's definitely big and definitely green. Let's get a ladder counter going at the top here, and let's go into our ship. We have our landing bay at the front for a convenient entry into the ship, and inside the landing bay, we have our first ladder. We enter into our storage area, which is fairly open. This is our only module where we have doors to access other modules. Heading through this door, we enter an engineering bay, and we have another ladder. Heading up that ladder, we have our computer core. There is no other way out of here. Let's head back down the ladder. Cross over to the other side of our cargo bay and head through the other door. We enter our living area and we're greeted with another ladder. And what's that I see at the other end? Another ladder. Heading up the first ladder brings us to the brig. Again, there's no way out from here, so let's head back down and let's go up that other ladder near Sam.
Hey, good to see you.
This ladder brings us to our battle station. I love this layout. And oh look, a ladder. Dropping down from that ladder brings us to our 3x3 cargo hold. I see 1, 2, 3, and 4 more ladders in this area. Let's go up that first one we saw. This leads up to the engineering bay. There's no way out of here, so let's head back down. Our next ladder leads us to the armory. I love this armory as there's plenty of storage, but it's another dead end. So let's head back down again. Our next ladder brings us into the captain's quarters. And we have another ladder here. So let's see where this one leads. We're now in the mess hall at the back of the ship. And here's our ladder to get to the ship docker. If we look up, we see our ship docker has its own separate ladder. Let's go ahead back down to our 3x3 compartment. We're going to go check out that last ladder in the middle. We saved the best ladder for last. This is an extra long ladder to reach the bridge. So let's get climbing. We have reached the bridge. This is actually a nice bridge layout with some big open windows for great visibility. We also have plenty of seating for the crew if they ever make it up here. And that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this extreme ladder ship build. Please leave a like and a comment below and subscribe to the channel. I'm Team Scorpio, and I'll see you in the next build.
Engines firing. Here we go.